Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm finally back from Zim and this is how many days later, maybe 3 days later since I arrived. Today is Saturday. I arrived on Wednesday and the state I arrived the house in it's a joke. Before I left, right, because I left my husband, I left the house clean. I cleaned the house and then I told my husband, please leave the house clean, because usually when I travel I want to leave everything like clean, and so that when I come back I know I'll be tired from traveling. So when I'm back I just want to come back to a clean house, but he did not manage to because of he was also packing and he had like his work pressure. I don't know what happened, but he told me when he came to Zim when he was leaving, and he was like, I'm sorry, but I left the house in a mess. I couldn't keep the house clean. But at least what he did, he left the laundry basket empty, so there was no clothes much to wash. So he left the laundry basket empty. He also emptied the bins, but we need to take care of this house. I woke up today maybe around 8, and then I made breakfast. We ate with Naomi and I went back to sleep. Now it's around like almost 2 p.m. so I went back to sleep and I'm just waking up now. The only thing I managed to do for now is make our bed. I'm going to show you how the house looks like, but what I managed also to do is keep on doing the laundry. I'm just piling the clean clothes on the couch. At least it's better to have unfolded clean clothes than having like a ton of dirty clothes. So all the clothes from the suitcases that we traveled with in Zimbabwe are currently clean now. I'm just like finishing up. I think I'll have like 2 more loads and I'll be done today. So I tried to do that, but I need to clean the house. My husband is coming on Tuesday. It will only make sense for him to also come to a clean house. I mean, I've been here, so I might also let him come to a clean house, and then he will come with his laundry, so we'll need to do his laundry. That's why I'm trying to, as soon as I arrived I started like washing clothes. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm just so exhausted because I arrived on Wednesday. We were home around like 4 p.m. and then on Thursday early in the morning I was already working, and it's like that time of the month when it is very busy at work, so I just came back to work pressure. Friday I was working, and today is just the day I'm trying to relax. And I have Naomi. She wants to eat, she needs to be fed, she needs to be entertained. She's just a child, she wants company. So let's see how we are going to do. I'm only going to do what I can. I don't have to kill myself. There is no house inspection. I'll just try to do what I can. The rest I can finish tomorrow, and the rest we can just do as we go. And this is how the balcony looks like. Yeah, this is reality, guys. This is true reality, but we are going to get back to normal. So it's currently 28 past 2. So if I have a phone which is on to show you guys the time. Oh no, but I can use my laptop. Let's see. My laptop is taking time. I want to show you the time. Because I want to see what I'll be able to do like after 2 hours. When I grew up I was told with my grandma that when you're doing work you need to be fast. Okay, yeah, there is the time. This one. So this is 14:28. And I need to work. I need to do everything fast, but properly as well. So I'll come back after 2 hours and I'll show you what I would have done. Naomi is helping, you see. She has already cleared her maths and her puzzles. She's taking her Seisha to her room, so she's quite helpful. What did you say, baby?
I will take clean the house too, but
Okay.
I am not tired.
It's okay, thank you. So Naomi is picking up all the things that can go to the bin. This girl, she amazes me. I never asked her to do those things, so she's picking up all the papers that she knows she needs to go to the bin, and she's putting in the bin. I know she's going to pick these plates and put them in the sink, but let's go. Guys, I'm so proud of Naomi. I asked her to pick up all the papers, and look, this is almost full. She is doing all this and putting them in the plastic bin. Thank you so much, Naomi. Put this one as well.
Put this.
It's okay, you can put this one as well, okay?
This one is for fire.
Yeah, put it there. She's so hardworking. She's working really, because all these papers were here, but look, she cleaned it all up. Okay guys, so as I will be cleaning, I want to share something with you, because I saw that this video is really long, and just playing music like on the background is not something that will keep you glued to the video. But if I'm going to share something, you're going to listen to it, even if you're not looking at the video, but you're going to get something. So what I want to share about, mostly I'm just going to be everywhere, but I'm going to share our story, me and my husband, what we did when we were dating. So if you saw the previous video, like my husband explaining how we met, and I also explained how we met, so mostly like how we met for us, it's more spiritually connected, spiritual in the sense of like God, God being the foundation of our relationship, and everything just coming into place because of God. And because that's what I believe in. What I believe in is in God. And also what I think is whatever that you believe in, I think those are the things which are used by God to communicate with you, like at the moment, right? So that's what I actually think. Like if you will believe in, I don't know, whatever you do at your church, whatever that you do, God is going to use those things to speak to you. The other thing is, for those who don't believe in God, how also some messages are being passed to you. I don't know how it works, but I'm just going to share on my side, like when it comes to God. What we did actually when we started dating with my husband is praying. We were praying. We were prayerful, like I said in the other video, that guys, we were praying. So what we established was making sure that per week we have one day that we dedicate to ourselves, praying about our relationship and and our future. So I remember in 2016 we had a church conference, and we wrote down our prayer points, and I looked at them a few years ago. I think it was like 5 years later, and I saw that God had answered like those prayers, when we went to the church conference and we went to pray in the mountain, just asking God, this is what we want in the next 5 years. And when we were ticking, I think I had like three out of 5, and the 4th one was kind of like in progress. Then the 5th one, was the one which was not yet there. So it's good actually that you write down your prayer points and you go back to them, even like per year. You write what you would want God to do for you, and then you can go back and mark answered prayers. This helps you to with your spirit, it helps you to trust that God answers your prayers, and it motivates you that this has come to pass. Because if you don't write them down, sometimes you don't have anywhere to reflect. Like now, I still have my diary that my husband bought me in 2016, and we have like those prayer points and the things that we wished for, and also we wrote something also about like where we want to be 40 years, that is like from 2016 and 40 years, going ahead. So looking at those things and like, okay, so we haven't done this. So anyway, we dedicated like one day, per week that we actually used to pray about. And we dated with my husband 1 year something. God, I will need to count. I don't remember, but it was almost 2 years, right, of dating, and none of the Tuesday, we dedicated Tuesdays to ourselves. I never skipped any Tuesday fasting. For us, even sometimes when I would be angry at him and we are not talking, I still was praying. And I remember when I was doing my visa to come to Poland, I went to South Africa and I was staying with our relative. And I remember because we call her Gogo, and she was asking, so you're not eating today? I was like, no, I'm not eating today because I am fasting. And sometimes when we went to South Africa. Okay, so what I was saying is, in South Africa there was really food that could be tempting, that you want to eat, but I had to stick to what I needed to do. So I never skipped a Tuesday because of Nando's. I never skipped it because of McDonald's or anything, or any nice food that was available at where I was staying. And I want to encourage you that sometimes maybe for some people, you get easily tempted with food. To be honest, you always eat it later on. There is no need to break your fast or be tempted not to pray because of certain things. You need to be solid enough that if I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, and if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So yeah, like I said, and also what we also dedicated was a Thursday. So we with 2 days. So Tuesday was for us, and Thursday was for us praying about Poland. So my husband, then boyfriend, he said that we need to pray for you to Poland. So firstly, it was praying about the visa for each to go through, and then afterwards it was about traveling and settling in. So our prayer points were changing. As I go to the next stage, and as I arrived was just like for God to protect me, and also for the papers, the immigration, when you're applying your papers, for everything to just go smooth, and later on looking for a job, being able to pass the exams, and God to provide the funds for tuition fees and everything. So we never whenever the state was changing, we were changing also the prayer points. So yeah, Thursday and Tuesday was those were our days. And I would recommend to, if you start dating, if you're someone who prays and maybe your boyfriend does not pray, it's not something to really worry about. You can pray about it. God, what I know is he answers prayers. He can change people. You can pray about it. You can't just say no to someone because they don't know God. You can eventually later on be on the same page as you go. So yeah, for me, I was fortunate enough that we both met at church, and so our faith was literally the same thing, and we never had issues where you had to explain something to to anyone, let me think. This is not like a structured this is not structured, so I'm just trying to think about things that I encourage you. Okay, so find a day when you're in your relationship to pray about your relationship for God, and pray about your marriage before. And I remember I shared this before, that even before you have kids, start praying for your kids, start praying for fertility, start praying, for things in advance that you might want, in as much as currently it doesn't make sense, or you are in a position where it doesn't make sense. Just pray for it, so that when you are eventually at that stage, you will already like just be getting like the fruits of what you already prayed for. So that's what we used to do. And sometimes now, I shared this before about this, like in your youthful days, try to maximize your days to God. I'm not saying that when you're married stop praying, but sometimes it will be difficult because you have a lot of things happening. Like now I have my child who's going to school. We have school drop off and school pick up, some school events that we need to attend. I have work, we need to clean the house, we need to cook. So you get really tired when you have all those like stress and things happening around, and maybe you might not even have time to even to fast and pray. So it's good that you maximize those days, because now I'm just seeing like the other things that God is doing for us. I'm not really praying for them, but they just happen. And sometimes I'm just like, but wait, why are these things like moving like smoothly like this? But then I remember that there were days me and my husband were not eating, like we never used to eat. So during the days when I was in Zimbabwe, what we used to do when I was staying with my grandmom is we had 4 a.m. Prayers. So he would wake up, and then he will leave his house, and then he will come to our house to pick me up. So he would knock on the window, and then for me, I'm such a sleeper, guys. I remember one thing my grandmom told my husband was like, you really have to be patient with Tendai because she sleeps, like she loves to sleep. She's not someone who will wake up early. And then, my husband said, that's not why I want to marry her, or that is not why I love her. I'm not looking for someone who is going to be waking up early to do anything for me. If I needed someone who to do the dishes for me or to do laundry for me, I would hire them. But for me, I need someone to do life with. That's what he was saying. And even now, it's funny because even the morning drop-offs for Naomi, he has to do them because I cannot wake up, guys. I love to sleep. It's such a disease. So he would come, and then he would knock on the window, and then my grandmom would wake me up like, Tenda, it's time for you to go. Or sometimes my grandmom would wake me up early and say, wake up so that you can wash your face and brush your teeth, so that when he arrives, you can just go. So it would depend. So when he will arrive, then I'll take my Zambia, and then we'll go to, like for those who are in Chiredzi, like where there's like the railway station, not railway station, but just the railway. So we'd go after that railway, right? That's where we used to go and pray. So it was just like in the forest or something like that, in the forest, like where there are just trees. There is like nothing there is no like buildings. So we'd go there, and then he would come around 5. If we were going there, we'd go there around 5 because my grandmom was scared that we can go there for us to go there too early, like around 4 a.m. when it's still dark. But when we're going to the church stand, then we would go there like exactly at 4 a.m. We needed to be there at 4 a.m. to pray with the others. So at 5 a.m. If we are going to the Njanji, right, to the railway, I would go there, and then we pray, and then around 6 I would have to spend like maybe an hour there, minimum 30 minutes and maximum 1 hour. So we'd be praying there, and then after that we'll be at 6 a.m. we'll be working, going back to his house. So I would go with him to his house, and then he will be bathing, and I'll be ironing his shirts, or if it's ironed, then I didn't need to do anything. And then he will leave. Maybe I'll walk him to just halfway to his work, or I'll just remain at his place and then just cleaned up his house, and then I'll go back to my grandma's house. And then if it was going, at 4 a.m., we actually used to have one person who had a car, and now he used to know that, like both of us, Taonga and me, are always going to church at 4 a.m. for the prayers, and he would always wait, for us, and then we just get in the car and then we'd walk together, drive together to them, to the church, stand and pray. So we used to have elders, people, mentoring us, just learning a lot of things from those who are spiritually strong and also matured. So I would recommend you to do that. Do some Bible studies. I remember so many things that I learned from that time. And my husband is someone who is good at explaining the Bible. If he start explaining something to you, then it would really make sense. You're like, okay, I understand. So we was actually blessed during that time to be able to do those things. And I remember people used to say, to my grandmom, oh, why are you allowing, because we're doing, we're not hiding. For me and my boyfriend, we're not hiding. So, people, the next doors would think, oh, why are you letting, Tendai and her boyfriend come and all? And then she was like, she's not hiding, because Taonga would come to my grandma's place and then he would take me and then he would bring me back. So we were not doing anything, hiding, trying to run away and all. It was all clear. So it was easier for us. And my grandma actually, because she knew what we were doing, she trusted us that, we're not going to mess around and do anything that is and just misbehave, So, and the other thing we used to do, with my husband is where he used to stay, there was no running water, right? It was very difficult for them to have water from the tap, but at my grandma's house, there was always water. So he would come and would do our laundry where there are a lot of people. So it would be us, doing his laundry. And then afterwards we take, the laundry, would put them in the buckets or in the dishes, and then we carry the clothes, the wet clothes to his place and then dry it there. Or we would let it dry a little bit and then before we carry them. But there was no way we were going to keep his clothes longer, at the line, because people can see and people knows who stays here. So if you just have Zimra uniforms there, then it would raise eyebrows or something. I mean, even people knew, but we couldn't do that. So yeah, that's something else we used to do that I wanted to share. I'm thinking about the other things what we used to do with my husband. Oh, so the other thing, kind of it's not an issue, but it's something that I had a different mentality on, is the money, your boyfriend giving you money. So for me, maybe it's because, how we used to be taught in high school, maybe with the teachers, or just how people say, if your boyfriend or if your guy gives you money, the next thing they want to do is to sleep with you. And for me, it's really stuck like that. So Taonga used to want to give me money, and I used to say no, because for me, I would feel like the next thing is he's going to ask me, to sleep with him, and I don't want that. So what he later on came up with was, if I will go and meet him, or usually I would have a plastic bag or a small bag, he would not give it to me. He would just drop it in that plastic bag, and when I get home, then I'll see, oh, there is $20. Oh my god, or maybe there is $50. Honestly, it used to spoil me, and that was a lot. Giving $20, I remember going to Power Souls, buying myself some face towels, some shorts for inside, the kind of underwears that I wanted, some bras. I used also to go to second hand, not shops, but Mabero, guys. I would go there and buy my things. So that's what he used to do. So he would either put it in my plastic bag or in my bag, and then I'll only see it when I'm home. Or what he would do is, like, when he's saying bye, like, he has the money in his hand, right? So it's like a handshake, because I never wanted to hug. Oh my god, that was weird. Even walking holding hands, I always felt like maybe people are already seeing me, and it's just so, like, when he used to say bye, just like a handshake, like, oh, bye, and then he will just open my hand, and then he will put his the money in there, and then he will just run away. So there's no way I was going to throw the money down. So I'll later on, like, go with the money at home. So it was funny, and I used to calculate. So when I was taking his money, I used to calculate it, so that I was like, whenever he's going to ask to sleep with me, I'm going to tell him, I owe you this much, and I'm going to give you back. I'm going to work hard and return you the money. I remember when I came here, I think we had kind of like a fight or something, and then I said, oh, I know how much I owe you, and this is how much, and I'm going to give it back to you. And he was like, no, that's not what I want. I'm not even looking for you to refund me any money. So yeah, that was my mentality. It was so stupid, but yeah, it was okay. I can't say it saved me, because there was nothing to save me from, but yeah, it just helped me not to love money too much, just to receive money. Yeah, so I'm going to share also, like, how our dating was when I finally came here, like, as long distance relationship things. We had 20 months apart from each other before we actually met, so that almost was up to 2 years almost. But one thing I see that was most important was communication, letting him know what I was doing, and just like letting him know everything, because when you are away from each other, it's better to have, like, clear communication, because if there is a lot of assumptions, it's not a good thing. You just end up breaking up just because of not having clear communication. So what I would do is I would tell him, okay, now I'm going to my class. He knew, like, my timetable, so like, for going to class. He had my timetable for work when I used to go to the call center, not because he asked me to give him that, but it was just like for me I just wanted to let him know, what's happening, so that he doesn't have any questions. So he would know, even like when I'm not reachable, maybe I'm in the class, or will be on a video call on my way to school or on my way to work. So he would know, like, after this I'm going to work, and after that I'm going home. And if there will be any events that I'm going to, let's say like some birthday party or going to the club, I would let him know, and I'll send him like what I'm wearing, so he knows. Even all the videos when I'll be in the club dancing, I'll just send him, because what I didn't want to happen is when, imagine I'm going to the club, right, and then there are videos, and then someone else sends him those videos before me, it will look like, differently. So what I would do is telling him going to the club. And that was quite also something that was challenging, because when I came from Zimbabwe, I never used to go to a club. Yeah, and also how I envisioned a club for me was just for prostitutes, people getting drunk and hooking up with guys. That's what I used to think about. And also from my boyfriend's perspective, he's my husband now, I'm sure that's also the mentality he had. But because of communication and sharing, now we got to be on the same page, because the first day I was going there, I told him that that's where I'm going, this is how I'm dressed. He knew that I don't drink alcohol, and I used to go to the club, drink my apple juice. During those days it was like 9 zlotys or 10 zlotys. I would drink a lot of apple juice and water and dance. Like, I love dancing, but now I don't know how to dance, but I used to dance a lot. So I actually, if you would get in the club, you'd think like I'm also like drunk, but I just used to love the music and dance, with my sister and friends, and then afterwards we would go home. So he would know. I would tell him, even I can, as soon as I have a video, I'll just show him all the crazy videos. Now I don't even have them, some of them now, but he still has them, and he'll show me, and then he'll be like, can you dance for me like this? And just when you are just laughing, and I'm just like, yo, I can't even dance like this anymore. And I don't know why, guys. Giving birth like to all the flexibility, my waist can't even move anymore. So yes, and I remember we had like a situation where one of his friends texted me and saying, oh, what is this? And he was also going to Taonga like, oh, the way you are dressed in shorts, you are not dressed properly, what. But the good thing was I had already told Taonga, he had already seen that, so it didn't impact us. Even that person, when he came with his views, like his friend, it didn't impact us, because that's not how we viewed it, and that's not how Tonga viewed it. But imagine if it was otherwise. Maybe my husband would have thought also like, oh, why would you go to a club and without telling me? Who were you with? Why were you dressed like this? Why were you dancing like this? So, and also the other thing is, if you build trust in the foundation of your relationship, anything that is going to happen later on, it won't really affect you, because you trust your person. So my husband knew that, in as much as I might be dressed in like bum shorts, I'm not doing that to find like another man or trying to seduce anyone. I was just dressed the way I felt like, and I wanted just to go and enjoy with the other kids, and that was it. I never used to drink or anything, or not do anything that I'm not supposed to do. I was actually the person who used to keep people's phones because everyone would be drunk. I used to be the one who would make sure that everyone has got home. So yeah, that's what I used to be. Yeah, and the other thing I also want to share with you guys is how you treat your partner, matters, especially when you have something that they don't have. You understand? Like you can be in different seasons. So for me, I was just after school, right? And I didn't have like the money. I didn't have a job. My husband used to work, and he used to spare me with like some money and all. And obviously I was used to refuse and all, but I remember he said, you know what, let me take care of you if I can, because we don't know how life changes. Maybe tomorrow it's me who is not going to get the money, and maybe you are the one who is going to be working, and I will need you to take care of me. And for me, that didn't make sense, because I was like, boy, you're working in Zimra. It's not like you're ever going to get fired or you're going to lose your job or anything. So for me, I was like, he's just saying it. But for him, he used to spoil me. He would, give me the money, take care of me and everything. And later on, when he decided to come to Poland, was like, okay, I'm going to leave Poland. I'm going to come there. I'm going to leave Zim and come and join you, because he was just like, I think, our life will be better there. And I don't want you to come back to Zim after, the exposure you have had. I just want you to continue to live that life. I don't want to change anything. This is the reason why, this is why he came. So when he came, he had like 6 months. Yeah, he had like 6 months without getting a job. And you know what, guys? That's when it finally made sense that we don't know where life takes us. So if you're someone who is earning now and you're treating your partner chimuti mari no shandirwa kai yeah watoshandisa mari, you are also gonna kuchengeta mari or something, tomorrow you don't know how things are going to turn out. You can be in an accident and you won't be able to be mobile or to work anymore. You can be retrenched. life situations can change. And you know what, your partner, because you're treating them bad, they might also return that to you. Because they're like, oh, now it's my turn, I'm going to show you kuti Marino Shandirwa Jeshua, you know. But because of what he used to do for me when he was working, when he could afford, it was so much easy for me when he came that I was able to, also help with the money, where he would need like some transport money, some food, some rentals. It was not even difficult for me to do that. And guys, the other thing for me to appreciate him, like when I came, I started working in a hotel. So I used to clean in Marriott Hotel. For those in Warsaw, I used to clean Marriott Hotel in the city center. That one, I think it's 40 floors, something like that. And I used to get swollen. Like that man was hard, and guys, and the first salary I bought my boyfriend a phone. I had a phone that was ticking, that was freezing when I was even looking for Google Maps or something. It was literally difficult for it to work. But my first check, the big thing that I did was to buy my boyfriend a phone, and I gave him. Yeah, I sent it to Zim, and I think I bought a card, and I bought him. I think the main thing I bought was the first thing was a phone. I bought him a Samsung, which was latest during that time. And people around me, it didn't make sense for them. Like, why are you buying a boyfriend a phone? Why are you doing that? But for me, it made sense. But later on, after explaining, most people later on understood, because even when I came to Poland, he made a card for me. A US card. The first one was the Eco Cash one. I still keep those cards. And then the second one was the one for Bank ABC. So he would just deposit money, and I would go and just withdraw the ATM. He was helping me with my rentals. He was helping me with my transport, with my food. So when he came, it was easy to do it for him, because the rent he used to pay for me, I was just also paying for him, because we never lived together. For us, we didn't believe in that, staying together before marriage. We wanted to make sure that we do for us the proper thing, for us, that's how we used to believe. And so he used to stay in his place. I would pay for his rent, the food, and then later on when we started living together as well, because I was already here, I had my salary when I was getting it was a little bit more. For him, he was starting lower, and he was going up. And honestly, that never affected us. If there is anything that never affected us with my husband, is finances, who is earning more or whose money is whose. We never had issues with that, but it is because of how he treated me when he had money, and later on when I could afford, it was not difficult for me to do that. So always treat your partner nicely, even when they do not have anything, because you don't know how life is going to turn out. And the other thing is, I remember I also bought him some Adidas shoes. He still has those Adidas shoes. I bought him a wallet. And every time when I would hear someone is going to Zimbabwe, I would send something for my boyfriend. I would send, and after buying him a phone, that's when later on I bought myself a phone, and also did some shopping for myself. I remember I bought him a lot. I used to send a lot, because I was just only returning the favor of what he had done for me as well. So guys, be nice to each other, and you don't know how life is going to be. So guys, that's what I wanted to share while I am cleaning. The video was really long, but I hope you got to take one or two things. I'm going to be sharing also some of my experiences, just in life. I would not say I want to advise or educate anyone, but I want to share experiences that have helped me, things that I know. about, not just sharing things that I don't know about. And also like with my husband, maybe we'll try to do also some sit down videos. My husband is a good teacher. He explains things the better way, but he doesn't like to come on the camera. But I know he has some wisdom that he has shared with me that I would love, him to share. I told him that, what, baby, you're really good at talking and teaching, even when it comes like to explaining the Bible, or just like life, because sometimes he's always like, talking with my brother. And I say that, my brother, I would say like he is a good mentor, as like my husband, having my husband as a mentor, because I can sometimes like listen to their conversations, and I also see like how my brother is, like his perspective about life and how he is navigating his life, even like when it comes to small things, you just see like that he's focused and he's getting this some of the advice from my husband, not entirely from my husband obviously, but I'm just saying sometimes I see that they are sitting together and he's getting one or two things, and I wish that he would also share that. So yeah, I managed to do it alone but my back hurts now. I wish my husband was here to do the massage for me, because usually if I overwork my waist start aching and I would need like a massage, but today he's not around, so I'll just cry alone and hoping to be better. Cheers, bye, see you in the next vlog.